What is up? Welcome in to Dollars to Deuces, episode number 33. Talking week 3 spreads, player props, of course, our survivor pool that we attempt. This is a Toilet Styles production. And tonight, as always, I'm joined by the Frito Bandito himself. Rich, what's up, dude?
I'm wallowing in my shame. Maybe I need to move this dollars to deuces sign off or change it up a little bit while we're doing this. But my Raiders looked horrible. Started out 20-0 in the first half and just blew the league. And yeah, it was not a good Sunday after that. I didn't want to watch Sunday night football. I didn't want to watch Monday night football. And then the only exciting football that was going for Monday was my son's football game. We get there and they freaking canceled the damn game.
That sucks.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was rough Sunday. I was sitting there, I saw the game, bet on the Raiders, and I was like, cool, looking good. And then they just, I don't understand how that was. Yeah, Derek Carr didn't look good. I mean, it was just a rough go all around. Always, of course, joined by Abe at MBNI NFF. Sorry. What's going on,
That's
buddy?
all right. That's right. Hey, maybe I should go over this because you keep doing it. So, I don't know. Before we could bet in Illinois, we played a lot of DFS stuff. So MVIN is kind of what it is, and then fantasy football. So MVIN is matchup, volume, instinct, and narrative is what it is. So MVIN, and then fantasy football. So it's MVIN FF. That was before we could bet when we were doing a lot of DFS in Illinois here, but things are good. Got a Packers victory under our belt this week, so got our shoulders a little higher this week, and our chest pumped out a little bit. We're on the board with the W.
A little bit more than me.
Yeah. God.
You'll get there. You'll get there.
This weekend.
Yes.
I hope.
Yes.
I hope. God dang. Yeah, it was a wild weekend for sure. I mean, there was a lot, like I said, a lot of spreads I looked at, early in the game. Things are good, looking good, feeling good. And then all of a sudden it was just like, holy smokes. I mean, just completely gone. So obviously, like I said, check us out on Twitter. You can find the show at Toilets Titles. You can listen to us on Apple Podcasts, YouTube, Podbean, Spotify, Facebook, Twitch. We're obviously, if you're on YouTube right now, please hit the like and subscribe button. We'd appreciate that. A little bell so you know when we're going live. We go live. I don't know if it's 7 days a week, but it's pretty darn close. There's shows all the time on the Toilets to Titles network. So check that out. Also, if you're on Apple, please go to Apple Podcast review or iTunes review, whatever you call it. 5-star review would be appreciated. And as always, check out toiletstyles.com. More stuff going up every day. I think I saw today Coach's Dudes and Duds were put up there. He's been doing very well with them weekly, like always. But yeah, just tons of stuff on there. All our content's there. And of course, patreon.com/toiletstitles. We were actually just telling Abe before we started recording about the waiver wire episode. Rich helped out Monday night after the game and recorded that. Tons of guys on there, and it's sent directly to our Patreon members, either late Monday night or early Tuesday morning. So it's before any waiver wires go. And there's 15 or 16 of us or whatever, and there's like usually at least 3 guys per person. So I mean, it's a ton of information, and that's just I think that's even in the first tier. That's like $3 a month. So check it out and let us know what you think. So getting into the fun stuff, we'll start with our survivor pool, and I finally got one right. I guess only week 2, but we decided we were going to switch it up, so it's 3 strikes and you're out, even though I'm sure I'll hit 3 strikes pretty soon. I said I survived. I think I said I was going to be scared that I'd be a little too cute, and I was like, I'm going to pick the Lions. They won, first time as a favorite at home, and they won in like, I don't know how many games. So that was cool. Abe won with the Rams. We all thought that they would cover that. Well, I don't know if Rich did. I know me and you did, Abe. At like 10.5. They didn't.
Yeah. Well, cool. But I mean, it seemed like they had that pretty wrapped up, and then I left and I changed off the Rams game, and next thing I know, it's we're 1 possession away, and the Falcons are threatening. So, I kind of sweated that one out a little bit.
Yeah, but it didn't matter straight up. And Rich, this one breaks my heart because I'm really not happy about this loss. Had the Ravens. That was a debacle.
Hey, I was pretty much sure I had that one a majority of the game.
Yeah. I mean, They scored 21 points on 28 plays at the end of the game.
So the reason why Nate put 3 strikes, you're out, because I'm 1 away from being 3 strikes and you're out.
Well, I figured I'll have a strike after next week, but I hope not. But Rich, I'll let you go first. Who you got? Who's your survivor pick for week 3?
All right, so this is my week 1 pick for survivor pool this year. It is going to be the Bengals. After going 0-2, they got to get a win this week, and of all weeks to do it, this is the week that they can do it against the team that they're playing. If I'm correct, the Jets. Or am I wrong?
The
on
1-1 Jets. Watch out. That's Jets.
Yeah. Still the Jets. I'll give them. Bengals have to win this week. So I was going to pick another team, but someone picked them before I got there. So I went ahead and went with the Bengals.
I believe he's referring to Abe.
Yeah, and we'll just kind of jump right in because I believe that was me. So I was probably the first one to get on here today and make this pick. So I jumped on my pick right away, which is the Chargers. 7-point favorites at home against Jacksonville. A team flying all the way across country against a team that's had about 10 days off in the Chargers after playing on Thursday night last week. And a little bit hungry after, a division loss. So I have my LA teams are out of the way. I picked the Rams last week and I have the Chargers this week. So I was fortunate enough to put them on before anyone else got on today. So I have the Chargers with 7-point favorites as my survivor pick this week.
And it's not that we can't pick the same one. That's just not fun,
Yeah,
correct.
It's not.
So.
Next week I'll go last. So
no. First come, first serve. That's the way we're going to look at it.
Yeah, I picked the Chiefs. I just think this is probably they're playing the 0-1-1 Colts. They look god awful. Hell, let Nick Foles play. I don't know what they need to do, but they're bad. Sorry, Justin. Yeah, give me the Chiefs. So we'll see how we fare. Like I said, it feels good. Keep her going, right? We're going to switch it up a little bit and go over our week 2 player props because some of the guys, not me, did really well. And I said I like that. The first one, I'll just kind of go down in order. From that Chiefs-Chargers game, Abe had Josh Palmer to score and over 46.5 yards, right?
Yeah, he didn't get to 46.5, but he scored. So, and that was very late to cover that spread, which is I had the Chargers also. So I was pretty happy about that late score. And I had him playing in a fantasy game, in a fantasy lineup. So, that was very late and very prominent for me.
I thought for sure when Herbert got those 3 sacks in a row and he tried to almost run for that one first down, 2 yards and couldn't. I was like, oh, they're not covering, because I'd picked the Chiefs and I was excited. And then, little backdoor cover. I knew it's too good to be true.
That throw on that scramble scared me because I have Herbert in a couple leagues. I'm like, that's not good at all. But he toughed it out. Got to give him credit.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Rich had Tyreek Hill over 67.5 receiving yards. He barely got that, I think. What do you have, 180?
Yeah, just barely tripled that. Yeah. To me, I felt like that was an easy one. So why not?
Yeah, it was. I hit on 2 on the Browns game. Jacoby Brissett over 9.5 rushing yards. He had 43 rushing yards, by the way, on 6 attempts or something like that. And then Nick Chubb had 87 yards, and his over was 82.5. So hit a couple there. And like I said, I'm just going to keep betting those, by the way, until they don't hit. So
no worries.
It's free money. Abe, this was a miss. I thought it was going to be closer though. Brady under his touch. Was it one? Well, what were his touchdowns? 1.5.
So his touchdowns were 1.5. So I hit that.
It was. Never mind.
But then I had it was over a half interception, and he didn't throw that. And then actually, ironically, I live bet after that fight. Brady had 0 picks, 0 touchdowns, and they had that big fight. And I immediately went on a live bet Brady's because his over under for touchdowns then it was 0.5 at plus money. So I immediately went and put some money on that, and obviously he hit that in the next drive. I could tell he's a little ticked off, and he's the type of guy that's gonna put it down your throat. So that next play or that next drive, he definitely covered. It was pretty easy. I was excited that dropped to to 0.5. So his under start the game was 1.5. I like the under of that hit, and then I bet live is over of half, and that hit. So kind of middle of the bet with that. He didn't throw a pick, but that's Brady. He just struggles against the Saints.
Jameis threw plenty of picks.
Well, that's what Jameis does.
Like usual. Yeah,
that's what Jameis does.
Moving on to the Giants Panthers. I had Danny Dimes, of course, over 23.5 rushing yards. Only got 21. So close. So missed on that. Rich, you had McCaffrey at? I don't even know how many yards he had, to be honest. I didn't pay attention.
I'm actually pulling that up because I thought I read something, and then now I started double checking myself.
I thought he had
Now McCaffrey did go over. He had 102 rushing yards. So I did call that one. On the Barkley though, the over and under was
74.5.
74.5, and he was right at 72. So I hit on that one too.
He kind of struggled to get there. I thought for a long time, I'm like, oh, that's an easy win for Rich. And then it was late when he got there. He didn't, it took him a while to get there. That's for sure.
Yeah. I just had a feeling, like I said, he had that huge game last week. And I think we kind of touched on this last week. I just felt like the Panthers defense they were great last year and stuff like that. And a lot of people are saying they weren't as good. To me, I still feel like it's a good defense and everything. And I felt like they were going to keep them under that. So that's the reason why I went that route.
Yeah. Raiders, Rich or Abe had Renfro over his catches. I don't know what his catches were.
Well, he had two because he had 2 fumbles.
Yeah, late in the game when it was really important. He had 7 catches. The over under to start the game was 5.5. So he hit that. But the 2 fumbles kind of negates all that. But yes, he did get it over his catches.
I'm a little upset with him. I didn't realize he had 6 fumbles last year, led all receivers in the NFL with 6 fumbles. He has 3 in 2 games right now. So, I'm not. It's
not good.
I don't know. No, I don't get it. Rich, this was easy. He had the Bills over 3.5 total touchdowns. Yeah, he got that pretty quick.
Yeah,
so I think
kind of figured.
He threw 3 to Steph Diggs, right?
Yep. I had Allen and Diggs all across many leagues, and man, it was great to see.
Hell yeah! Then Vikings Eagles. You had the over 50.5. It didn't hit, did it?
No,
I don't
it
remember
didn't.
What the score was.
If Vikings would have scored something, maybe the Eagles did their part on getting close to it and everything. It just got kicked off.
Oh well. No.
Oh, my screen just went blank. I'm sorry. I thought I got kicked off.
Oh. Nope. And we had, for our long shots too, I had 0. The fun run Rich had also didn't hit because they kind of didn't throw as many touchdowns and not as many points as I thought there'd be in that Chiefs game. But Abe, your stat you said, you can go ahead and talk about that since we did earlier.
Yeah, so I had kind of a little tidbit last week that I mentioned. If you got beat by double digits in week 1, you cover like 65% of the time in week 2, and that went 5-1 last week. I wish I would have paid attention to that going into when I was betting on Sunday, but I talked about it on Wednesday night and then obviously never played it after that. But that did hit 5-1. The only team that didn't cover was the Rams, and they were significantly winning when they were, most of the game, and then obviously it got closer at the end. But that was a good play. Something to keep in mind for next year as well.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, that's like you said earlier. I mean, I don't even know why you don't bet with those because those trends just, like I said, 10 years is plenty of info. So, but moving on. Last week I was 7-9. Abe 8-8, so 500. Appreciate that. Leading the pack. Rich 6-10. It's okay. Like I said, 7-9 was rough. Overall, though, I am 17-15. Abe is 13-19, and Rich is 12-20. We're hoping for some big turnarounds this week.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
I hope. We got some. There's a little bit. I feel like there's a lot more difference this week than normally. Maybe not. Maybe I just looked at a few. We'll start with Thursday night game. Big AFC North matchup. The Steelers heading to Cleveland. After Cleveland's, what was that? The first time in like 2,300 in some games that a team has been down by 14 with like 2 minutes left and they won. So that was just a mess. I don't know how that even happens, but hey, good for the Jets. But I like the Browns at home -4. I just think that the Steelers are going to continue to struggle to score, and the Browns can just run the ball. I know that the Steelers defense is still pretty good even without TJ, but I think that Chubb and Hunt will take the game over. I also like Brissett over 12.5 rushing yards and Chubb over 84.5 rushing yards, like I always said. So, Abe,
I will be the
actually
second
let
one that
Richie
goes.
go.
Yeah, I was about to say let the odd man go last.
Yeah.
I'm going the Browns too. Look, Browns -4. Look, last week I picked the Pats over the Steelers at +2 and stuff, and I just don't think the offense is going to be that good and everything. I mean, just the defense is going to hold them in some games, but this is a divisional game. The over and under on this game is actually 38, and I was really close to taking the under as one of my long shots. I mean,
I don't think that's a long shot.
well, yeah. How often do you see it over under of 38 or lower or something like that? It's always in the 40s a majority of the time, 40s and 50s and everything. And I saw that and I was like, I actually asked my son Keegan, I was like, what do you think, over and under on 38 on this game? And he's like, I go, I think I like the under. I go, because it's a divisional game. Yeah. But yeah, I'm taking Browns -4.
Hey,
I am the lone. Excuse me. I'm the lone duck here, and I have the Steelers. As I've said many times on this show, I just don't believe in the Browns. I think their organization is just not very good. And when it comes to interdivision games, the Steelers, obviously 1-1, really played well in week 1. Obviously had some injuries and stuff that we're trying to get used to probably in week 2 without TJ Watt. So I have the Steelers win. I have them. I don't know if I have them winning, but I think them covering +4 against Cleveland on Thursday Night Football, I think is a good play. I just they're the Steelers. I know it's Mitch. I know it's all that stuff, but it's also the Browns. So if I'm going to pick between these two teams, I'm going to go with the organization that's usually better. I'm going to go with, in my opinion, one of the best coaches in football that's better. So I like the Steelers in this game to get 4 points. I do have a player prop in this. It's Claypool to have longest reception under 17.5. Obviously, he stretches the field quite a bit. But I think he's just a different player than what he was from his rookie season. I just don't think that they get to throw the ball downfield very much. I think this is kind of a snooze fest game. I didn't put this on my long shots, but as we were talking, I've won one bet where I bet on, it was a Thursday night game. It was years ago. No touchdown scored, and it was a Thursday night game. That may be a long shot that you may want to look at tomorrow. Those odds are usually very good. And I don't know if we can see many touchdowns between these two teams because they both have good defenses. Their offenses are both struggling very badly. So that's kind of where I sit with that. But overall, I want to take the Steelers +4.
To be honest with you, the only reason why I took the Browns is because of their new logo in the middle of the field, the brownie. What is it, the brownie, or what does it call them?
Yeah, that thing's crazy.
The brown eye? Oh, yeah. Yeah, Brown's going to brown, dude. They kind of stink. I don't know why I'm picking them, but I just got to roll with Nick Chubb, I guess. So, yeah, Chubb will score. See, Jared knows. Jared, I sent you the link, by the way, so hop on. Next game, Chiefs and Colts. Abe, you know what? I want you to go first here because I was very surprised when I saw this.
Yeah, same here.
So I'm picking the Colts at home +5.5.
This is like me picking the Seahawks last week just to make sure we're on the same page here.
The Chiefs are playing awesome. There's no doubt about it. They've overexceeded everything I thought they would do the first couple weeks. I thought their schedule to start the season was very, very difficult, and they played awesome. Now on the flip side of that, the Colts have played absolutely atrocious. I mean, you couldn't start any worse than what they have. I had very high hopes for them, but ultimately, when you don't give Jonathan Taylor the ball more than 10 times a game, when you go down to where they get beat last week, Jacksonville, I think, you got to sit and look in the mirror and say, we need to get Jonathan Taylor the ball. He needs to be our focus. You're getting your stud wide receiver back. I'm not a Matt Ryan guy. I'm not a believer in him. But I just think that the Colts getting 5.5 points at home is tough. I know the Chiefs are really good. I know the Chiefs are playing great, but it's the NFL. You're not going to see a team like the Colts. The Colts are still a good team. They've played absolutely terrible. I get it, but they're still a good football team when it comes down to it. I think they get back to the basics and they say, let's give Jonathan Taylor the ball. Let's let him run. Even though he may not bust off 80-yard runs like he was doing last year. I get it. I understand. I was kind of against the Chiefs, but I'm a Chiefs believer right now. But I just think a Colts team at home that's played terrible, I think they bounce back a little bit. I don't know if they win this game, but playing at home to get 5.5, 6 points, I'm going to take the Colts.
Okay. All right. Well, I am not. I'm taking the Chiefs. Oh, God, just smashed my microphone. I'm taking the Chiefs. I don't know. I mean, the Colts got shut out in Jacksonville. That is just – I don't even understand how that happens. It's very hard to get shut out. Matt Ryan looked terrible. And it's not just Matt Ryan. I mean, the offensive line was poor. I think they got down early, and so they didn't want to just keep running the ball, but I feel like that's probably the best bet for them, especially with, no Alec Pierce, no Michael Pittman. I don't know. I don't know if Shaq Leonard's playing this week. And DeForest Buckner, is he going to be back? So it's hard telling. I just don't trust him. And until they show something different, which will probably be this week because I didn't pick him, maybe it will be. But right now, I don't trust him. And I just think the Chiefs are flying high. Had a good hard-fought win against the Chargers. That awesome 99-yard interception return by the 7th rounder. That was awesome to see. That Jalen Watson or whatever. So yeah, give me the Chiefs. And I hope if the Chiefs win, it's not the end of Frank Reich. I don't think it is, but I feel like it might be getting hot in the kitchen there.
Yeah, I am going Chiefs.
I mean, if anything, they're probably just going to go get another quarterback. They've done that. That's been their answer for the last 5 years.
They got Nick Foles, dude. They got Nick Foles. They're ready.
Yeah.
I'm easily taking the Chiefs. The Colts not only probably did not kill anything last week, but the one thing they did kill is multiple lineups of mine because of Jonathan Taylor that I have in, and can't even think of the dang receiver that had 0 catches when he was the only really option, I thought, and didn't get nothing.
Paris Campbell.
Yes, there you go, Campbell. I stuck him in last minute thinking, man, I could easily get an easy floor of 8, 9 points from him to get a fat 0. And that's the only reason why I lost in one league because of that, because of him. So I'm not picking the Colts this week. They burnt me last week.
My notes just disappeared. Yeah. What's the next game on there, guys?
Next one we got is Bills and Dolphins. Dolphins are +6. I'll go ahead and start this one out. I pretty much think we're all going same here, but I'm picking the Bills. I do got a player prop for this one. It is Tua over 260.5 passing yards. They're going to have to throw to keep up with the Bills, not just because of what happened last week to a certain degree, but yes, because of what happened to a certain degree. So they got to keep up with the Bills. I'm easily taking the 260.5 over passing yards for them.
I am going to go with the Bills also. They've won 20 straight games, and all 20 straight games have covered by 10 or more points. And when I'm talking about these points, so I think the Bills are just too much. I think they're playing really, really good. I think the Dolphins are going to come off very high and have a little bit of a letdown. Even though I think Tua is the real deal, and Nate is definitely.
You're just saying that. You're just saying that.
I've said this all preseason long. We can't count against Tua. He has a winning record. He's been pretty good. The guy is leading the NFL through 2 weeks in passing yards. He's got awesome weapons around him. But guess what? The Bills are just too much. So I have the Bills -6 at Miami. They dominate Miami.
Yeah.
They just dominate Miami.
Before I go, welcome in Jared. He's usually, I can't remember the other night. Friday nights for sure. Also Jared or Boom, whatever you want to call him. I don't even met Abe, but what's going on, dude? Can you hear us? Maybe not.
I think he's actually paused. Let me drop him out real quick. Yeah, he's frozen.
All right, well, he'll come back. So I'm taking the Bills as well. Like I said, not taking anything away from Tua here, but I don't know what Mike McDonald or whatever, the Ravens defensive coordinator, was doing the fourth quarter. Like, no press coverage, literally man to man, and you can't do that. You can't give Tyreek Hill or Jalen Waddle 15 yards off the line of scrimmage and expect to stop them. Like, Tua was literally throwing the ball to guys that were wide ass open, and so that's not going to continue. Well, you hope not. I mean, I don't know. Defensive coordinators aren't that smart, I don't think, but sometimes I don't understand how that happened the entire time. I mean, Lamar Jackson, in my opinion, deserved to win that football game. He had an amazing game, and the defense just, and that the throw to Gesicki is like, what, 3rd and 13. The touchdown throw was a great throw. Good touchdown, but the Ravens rushed 2 guys. Like, what are you doing? I mean, you get pressure on him, whether up the middle, especially, he's too short. He can't see, so you got to get pressure, at least rush 4 guys or something, because I mean, shit, anybody can stand back there and pick apart a defense when you're rushing 2 dudes.
You rush 4, though, he's going to pick them apart. It's Tua, man. You rush 4, he's going to pick them apart.
Yeah, I know. Is Slater sitting there with you or something? Is that what you're saying?
No, I swear.
The only thing I will say on this is the fact that they are going to get that wide open if Waddle and Hill, I mean, they're so quick and twitchy and everything. They're going to have a lot of open spots and stuff like that where everybody thinks the defense is falling apart. It's just they actually get themselves open. So, Jared, what's going on?
I know,
man?
but
What's up? I don't know if my internet's messing up, so you guys need to let me know if I'm lagging. If I am lagging, then I'll get out. So I don't want to mess up the show.
You're good. No, I say you can't give those guys 15 yards though. I mean, at least hit him at the line a little bit to slow him down, because like I said, Tyreek Hill, he tilts the field so fast, so quick. Like, you can't stop that. But you can't, like I said, you can't give him 15 yards. I mean, one of the touchdowns, he was literally standing there, looked like he was catching a damn punt. Like, I mean, I don't know. Jared knows more about defense than I do, but that is just a pitiful showing by the Ravens defense.
I got some words about the Ravens defense. They're the 32nd worst team against the pass, and that's not going to happen this week, bro. Like,
no. I assume you're picking the Bills.
The Bills are going to give the Dolphins all they want,
and then some.
Yeah,
and then some.
I don't. That Bills team, they're goddamn, they're good. They
are
made
good.
the Titans look like they should. They're
good.
Deserve to be in the same field.
They're good everywhere. I mean, they're good in every facet of football. I mean, they're good everywhere,
except the run game.
Well, yeah, but Josh Allen.
Dude, James Cook had he had a few more carries. Didn't fumble the ball.
Singletary is so horrible right now. I thought he was going to be the man to have there, but
what's going on?
Yeah, he kind of stinks. Maybe one day. Moving on to the Eagles, heading down to the Washington football team. Commanders are 6.5-point dogs at home. Or sorry, not dogs. They are dogs at home. I'll go. You know what, Rich? I want you to go first here again.
Yeah, you know what, man? After the last 2 weeks I've had as my horrible picks and everything, because just the way the first 2 weeks are going, man, I got to pick Commanders at home plus 6.5. It's the same discussion we having with the freaking Colts covering and everything. I mean, it's at home. I mean, they haven't looked horrible. I mean, they're going to score and everything. It's at home. So, yeah, Eagles looked good last week. I get it, but I'm going Commanders here. I'm trying to catch up on the wins here.
Real quick, let me jump in on this. I'm just because we're in Oklahoma together. Would you put the Minnesota Vikings before last week at -6.5 over the Commanders?
Yeah, I would.
Okay, then why would you put Philadelphia, who's absolutely trashed them at home?
I'm just.
He's going with the trend. It's like I said, they're home underdogs are like 8-5 this year.
They're going to be in by 10.
At least.
Well, I'm hoping not there, Jared.
I'm sorry. I'm just here for you, buddy. Like, I just don't see Washington stepping up. I think this is Wentz's game where he just absolutely comes back to earth. So.
Yeah. He's like the number 2 quarterback in fantasy right now or some shit, isn't he? Like, he's like doing pretty good. But,
yeah, and watch Kirk Cousins going to do the exact opposite of what he did last week. He's going to blow up against Detroit. So
I know. Not prime time, man. That's all there is to it.
Exactly.
So it sounds like Jared is on the Eagles like I am at -6.5. I know I think Nino had a tweet the other day about how good Jalen Hurts was. I know I'm not a Jalen Hurts guy. I won't be. When you're up, I guess it seemed like they never really closed that game out last week against the Vikings. Like, it seemed like if the Vikings can score, like this is going to be, they were down 14 going in, for a long time. And it was just like the Vikings couldn't score either, but I didn't feel like the Eagles could put them away. But obviously, I don't think the Commanders are on the same level.
Here's my thing. What if the Eagles actually had a running back?
Yeah.
They do.
I mean, they do. Hurts. They got Trey Sermon.
They have 13 running backs.
Yeah.
They don't have one. They have 13.
Yeah. Get the ball to Kenny Gainwell. I feel like he's the best guy back there, isn't he? He's better Miles Sanders.
He's just kind of struggled in the backfield. I don't know. He's just like, I think that's who they want to be good because that's been their guy since they got there. Because the other guys were there before this coaching staff got there. So I think they want it to be Gainwell, but he just he's not done it. So
yeah, but
I'm with you.
Moving on to the Bengals traveling to the Meadowlands. Jets are getting 5 points at home. I actually kind of struggled with this game for some reason. I don't know why. I guess just the whole aura of how the Jets finished last week, and Bob Saleh was ready to. He was going crazy, which I don't blame him. And I felt good for the punter that had that really bad punt the week before and then made an onside kick. So, but yeah, you know what? I got to take the Bengals. This is where they get right. I mean, they have to win this game. So, give me the Bengals -5.
Go ahead,
Abe.
I have the Bengals also. I watched an interview with Burrow today, and Burrow's just like, relax. We got 15 more games. We had a very tough schedule to start. We all knew it. He's like,
Cooper Rush and the Cowboys was a tough schedule.
Yeah. Well, yeah, I guess you can't.
Trubisky and
Yeah, no shit.
Yeah.
Really.
But he's one guy that I think, like, when he comes out and says something like, "Hey, calm down. Like, I got this. We're okay." They obviously have all the weapons to be okay. So I think that this is a get right game for the Bengals. I think that they're. I honestly think this is a blowout. I think the Bengals, get out to an early lead. They need to start fast. They have not done that yet this year. And I think that that's what kind of made them very successful in the playoffs last year is they kind of got out to a lead. And then, Joe Cool kind of took over from there in the playoffs, and they have not done that the first 2 weeks. So I think the Bengals hopefully they get off to a big lead. I have a prop at Burrow's over 1.5 touchdowns for this game. I think that's an easy play. I love that bet. I think before this game kicks off on Sunday, I think that moves to 2.5. So I'm a big fan of that play of Burrow over 1.5 touchdowns.
Yeah, I love that bet.
Yeah.
Well, here's the thing, guys. You guys both said that Burrow played against Cooper Rush and Trubisky. He played against two defenses that, with T.J. Watt and Minka, the first week were stellar. Then they played the Cowboys with their defense, I guess, with Parsons. I mean, that's the reason why he had bad games and stuff like that. Two good defenses and everything. Now
he's on his back too much.
Well, there you go. Another reason why. But like I said, this is a make right for the Bengals this week. Cutting in and out there, Jared.
Sorry, I'm back.
You're good. Go ahead. What were you saying?
T.J. Watt only had 1 sack that week. Highsmith had 3.
His presence on
that
the field though alone.
Yeah, I mean, I'll give you, like, he came out through 4 interceptions and still ended up coming back and playing well. The problem is, he has all kinds of weapons. What he doesn't have is an offensive line.
Yeah.
So, and that's what worries me because, I have him in pretty much every fantasy team. So I hope they get right and they decide to pass block and otherwise they're going to need another quarterback halfway through the season because he's going to get hurt.
It's going to be Andrew Luck 2.0, dude. He's going to have to freaking retire.
Yeah, so but I'm with you. I think they blow him out this week. I think it's a get right game.
Yeah, get right for them and Chase, because I do have a player prop with Chase going over 76 and a half receiving yards this game. At the end of that game last week, you saw him sitting on the bench just shaking his head, and he's going to want to make sure he gets back what he lost last week. So that is my over for Chase for this game.
Yep, I like that too. Next one, the 1-1 Lions traveling to Minnesota to face the 1-1 Vikings. The Vikings are giving them 6 points. Jared, you want to go first about this game?
Yeah, so here's the crazy thing. Detroit's the number one offense in football right now, and Minnesota, just gave up a ton to Philadelphia, who barely beat
The Lions, yeah, well, they won by 3. Yeah, because the Lions covered week 1.
I think I think Hicks and Kendricks absolutely go crazy. I think Jefferson goes crazy. I think Dalvin Cook goes crazy. It's going to be a high-scoring game for Minnesota, and you're going to see I think, what's the over?
Look right now.
I think it was
53.
52 and a half. Yeah.
So I would take the over, to be honest with you.
53 is what it's at right now. Yep.
Yeah, I'd take the over, because I think that the Lions will score 21, but I think you're going to see 35 out of the Vikings.
Yeah,
the Lions defense is not good. Besides Aiden Hutchinson, that defense is, and I love that Rodriguez dude, Malcolm Rodriguez. He's good, but that their defense is not good.
Yeah, like I said, I got Minnesota -6. No problem.
Jared, you mentioned earlier about after the game they had last week that they're going to come out and just have a freaking huge game this week, and I think we probably all were thinking the same thing. We all three picked the Vikings. I'm just going to go ahead and come out with it and everything, but I'll lead off to Abe because you do have a player prop on this one.
Yeah, I like TJ Hawkinson over 38 and a half yards. He's had 7 targets both week 1 and week 2. And the Vikings have given up. They gave up quite a bit to Goddard last week. He didn't have a huge game, but I think they gave up enough. So I think that Vikings go out and try to do whatever they can to stop Amon-Ra St. Brown, because he's been absolutely phenomenal through 2 weeks. So I like TJ Hawkinson over 38 and a half receiving yards this week. I also think Dalvin Cook gets in the box for the first time. He's been awfully quiet through 2 weeks. I think he's caught more balls out of the backfield than we expected, but he's not ran the ball very well. But I think the Vikings win, and I look for Hawkinson to get some garbage points later on, because I think the Vikings are up a score or 2, and then they're going to be putting some pressure on, so it's a little easier to drop off to your tight end, Sammy Trust and TJ Hawkinson. So I like his over 38 and a half.
If he doesn't drop so many balls, he might easily get there, because he had a lot of drops last week.
Yeah, well, he's from Iowa, and they don't score a lot of points at University of Iowa, so maybe that's
Jesus Christ. Yeah, they're so bad. By the way, my first college bet I'll talk about, Jared knows for me. I'm betting the under. I think it's 34 for Rutgers and Iowa. I'm taking the under Saturday, because I don't think Iowa scores 7 points.
Yeah, that's a great under. I mean, it's crazy.
We'll go move on. Ravens at the Patriots. We all like the Ravens here. I think, the Mac Jones needs to take care of the football. I don't know what's going on. No, Jared's going the other way. That's fine. I like Lamar's going to have another game like, hey, pay me. I think they're going to have to pay him like probably $500 million if he keeps doing this every year or every week. So I don't know. I like the Ravens. Their defense is trash. Football. I know. Well, Mac's got to take care of the football. That's all I got to say. He's got to take care of the
football. I mean, they won last week.
I know.
Yeah.
I know. But I don't know. I like the Ravens.
Matt Judon gets 1.5 sacks. And I think you're going to see Lamar throw an interception, and it's going to cost him the game.
Ooh.
There's a long shot call of the week.
Yeah, I like that. Hey, you got anything?
I like the Ravens. Lamar was awesome last week. I mean, absolutely phenomenal. It's hard to go into New England and win. I get it. I understand that stuff. But Belichick used to scheme against the number one player for every other team. Will he scheme against just Lamar? I don't know. And I don't know if you can scheme against Lamar the way he's playing. I mean, he's pretty darn good. he played awesome last week. You can't blame him for his defense giving up what they gave up. So I have the
Bill
Ravens.
held Tua and the Dolphins to 20 points, by the way. I should change my bet.
So I mean, he did scheme then, so obviously he's doing something right. So, but I think Lamar is just a little bit better on the go than what Tua is. So I like the Ravens -2.5.
Hey, real quick, what's everybody's thought? To me, I'm loving it right now. But Bateman, he has looked good the first 2 weeks, has he not?
Gosh, he looks
It's
really
the real
good.
deal.
Yeah, he looks really good.
Real good.
Yeah.
Been fun.
Loved him from out of college, so I mean, I'm a fan. I'm a huge fan. Always have been.
Yeah. Hell yeah. Going on to the next game. Abe, you know what? Texans travel to Chicago, Bears -3. Let's hear it, Abe.
I got the Bears -3. I don't know why. Maybe the only reason I do is just a hedge because I don't want them to win. I think that's the only reason I picked this is because I don't want them to win. So if they do win, so I saw a spread tonight that the Bears were 2.5. So when I looked at this game, I'm like, I try looking at games before I see spreads, and so I try to play a spread in my mind of what it's going to be like. And I thought to myself, Bears -2.5. After that pathetic showing on Sunday Night Football, they're going to give people the benefit of the doubt. Texans win a big game against Denver, or played very well against Denver. I think the spread's going to be 2.5. So I'm like, I think the Bears cover that at 3. I think it's very close. I think it's 9-6 or something is what the final is going to be. But I just have
40.
but I don't know why I picked the Bears. I guess I do know why is because if they win, then I win my bet. I win this call. If they don't win this call, then the Bears lose, and I'm happier that way.
Yeah. Jared?
I got the Bears winning and covering at 3, 20-17, barely getting the under.
I thought you were going to say like 6-0 or something.
No, I actually – both teams run the ball very well. And both give up the run. So I think you're going to see 20-17.
I don't think they're going to stop the clock. I think it's going to be a running clock. Like it's just not, I mean, that's what when
it's
you
not
run the
bad
ball,
football. They
it's
don't
not
want to punish everybody.
It's still 60
Yeah.
minutes. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's going to be 60 real live minutes is what it seems like it's going to be.
that's what I'm saying. I think you're going to see Montgomery score, and I think you're going to see Damian Pierce score. So it's going to happen.
Hopefully Khalil Herbert gets in the box.
Hey, Pierce is getting better and better. That's a guy. If it's a good time to go out and buy him and trade for him, he's going to be better and better.
Rich, you like the Texans?
Hey, Nate, just go ahead because I know you picked them too. So and you got a player prop on this. So go ahead and finish it off for us.
Doug Mills and the boys are going to tear up the Bears. I don't care. The Bears are really bad. I don't know how they score besides Montgomery. The player prop I like is Fields under 25.5 pass attempts. That's just a little over even money, but he's got he threw the ball 11 times against the Packers and 10 times against the Niners. I'm sorry for people that have Darnell Mooney. I mean, I think it's just not going to work. So
I'm sorry for myself and the people that have Cole Kmet.
Oh yeah, him too. I feel like everybody forgot that
He
one.
doesn't even have a catch yet this year.
God, that's horrible.
Hey, St. Brown's carrying the team. He had to get to a real quarterback, and then
when you only have 15 completions, there's not going to be too many guys that do have a catch. So
yeah, shit, that's wild. Moving on, Rich. Let's hear about it. Raiders
at Titans +2.5.
2.
+2. Yeah, I'm sorry, +2. Now, to be honest with you, I was gonna bet the Titans side just to jinx it and go the other direction, but I can't do it. Raiders +2. Raiders -2. I know they're going the Titans and everything, but man, Tannehill does not look good. I just don't know what's going on with this team, but I don't know what's going on with my team either right now. So go up 20-0 and then lose the game in overtime. Gosh dang, man. I do got player prop Carr over 23.5 receptions. Going to try to go back to Devontae and get that 144, 12 receptions, and stay away from Renfro until he doesn't fumble the ball. I love Renfro too, man. He's like the man I love right now.
Renfro's going to play.
Yeah, no, you're true. You're true. That's very true.
And concussion or something?
Yeah.
I do like Max Hollins stepping into his role and stuff like that. He started getting some targets last week because everybody's covering everybody else with the weapons that they have. So I like him. I had him on my waiver wires as maybe someone you might want to pick up if injuries happen and people are just going the other direction. So,
Well, I'll tell you this. I think Cunningham's going to try to guard Waller, and he's going to get embarrassed for 9 catches.
Hope so.
That's what's going to happen.
yeah, and just so we're all aware, Waller is, if I believe, 2 in tight end rankings right now. Even with
somebody needs to tell Nino that, because I got Waller versus Hawkinson, and that's a fun one right now. But Hawkins going to come back to earth, I think.
It's easy win.
Yeah, the Titans look really bad. Obviously, Traylon Burks is not A.J. Brown. Maybe one day. Not right now.
They need to give him the ball.
Yeah, they do.
First.
They do. But, there's 8 guys in the box all the time.
He did look good, though. When he did catch the ball, he did look good.
Yeah, I know. I just they don't. That team looks bad. I don't know why.
No, I agree.
Maybe something will change. The Raiders. I don't know. Give Devontae the goddamn
Raiders have
football
to win this week, man.
I know the coverage rolls to Devontae. I get that. I watched it in Green Bay for a long time. Throw him the ball. It doesn't matter. I mean, throw him and Tyreek. They're the best in the game. Throw him the goddamn football. It's not that hard. I heard some guy on the NFL radio. Some guy called in. Well, Matt Collins looked great. I don't give a goddamn about Matt Collins. Devontae Adams, give him the football. It's not that hard. I don't know. It's like Cooper Kupp. The ball's going to him. He still catches it. So will Devontae. I promise. So that's my little rant. It's annoying.
I have the Raiders also. I feel responsible, Rich, for your Raiders starting out 0-2 because I was super high on them this year. So I feel super responsible. So I almost picked the Titans just to kind of hedge that for you because I feel somewhat responsible for that. But I don't know what to think of this. I think the Raiders are the better team right now. But I just don't know what to think. They're going on the road to Tennessee. Tennessee was obviously the number 1 seed in the playoffs last year for the AFC. So it's not like they're terrible. I mean, they're not a bad team. They just have not played well to start the year. Raiders are much improved. Like Nate said, you got to get Devontae the ball. I have a prop of him over 79.5 receiving yards. I don't think Renfro plays this week. So I think Adams actually goes well over 100 yards. So I love that bet right now. It's at 79.5 today. Actually, this morning is at 77.5, went to 79.5 tonight. I wouldn't doubt it if that gets to 87, if Renfro's out, maybe in close to 90, by the time we kick off on Sunday. So that's a good play to probably lock in right now. Adams over 79.5 receiving yards.
So you heard it here first. We are blaming the 0-2 start on Abe.
Yeah.
And I'm sticking to that story.
I will take that. So, and I honestly want to switch my bet to Titans just so the Raiders get on the board for you.
All right, real quick, chat starter from Josh P. His starters are Mahomes, Aaron Jones, Michael Carter, A.J. Brown, the Sun God, Logan Thomas, Flex, Jeff Wilson, Bench, Stevenson, Aguilar, Hardman, Renfro, Schultz, and Schultz switches. Trades, advice, 12-man PPR.
I think he's saying switch any of the guys.
Yeah.
I would bench Carter this week and play Aguilar. I'm telling you, tricky play right this week.
Nope, I like it.
So you're saying put Jeff Wilson in your RB2 spot and start Aguilar in the flex? Because you can't sit A.J. Brown or Amon-Ra St. Brown right now.
Yeah, no. Yeah, I would. But here's another thing. I really like Stevenson too this week.
Because did Damian Harris get hurt?
He banged up his knee. He said he's fine.
He says he's fine.
He said, "Didn't you see me running off the field?"
Yeah,
I know.
Let's see you running the bench is what I should see.
Yes. We need Ramondre there instead of
Ramondre looks phenomenal every time he touches the ball.
Yes.
Like, why are we even having this conversation?
I don't know. I agree with you 100%. I don't know, but the Patriots love Damian Harris, so I don't know. One thing I actually kind of looked at Michael Carter's under rushing yards. I think it was like 38.5 or something. I think that's too many. I think he does get some catches this week. So I like that. And one thing about Dalton Schultz,
he's been the clear one though so far.
Yeah, he has.
Yeah.
But I think Breece Hall is going to get more and more as time goes on. But Dalton Schultz, I don't know if you want to put in his lineup. I don't know if he plays. And if he does, it's a Monday night game. So I don't know if you want to take that risk or chance with him.
No.
So he's probably one guy you want to put on the bench for this week because he plays on Monday night.
Yep.
And the one thing about with Michael Carter though. I mean, Tony Pollard kind of lit up the Bengals, but I don't know. I don't know if that continues with Carter. So I kind of like.
So
I'm kind
Josh,
of with you guys. You guys start Jeff Wilson. So
yeah, Josh. So just so you're on the same page with us, I think we can all agree: bench Carter and put Aguilar in your flex. Move Wilson to running back.
I would go with Stevenson instead of Aguilar. I'm not an Aguilar fan, but
we are not on the same page.
Well, here's the only thing, right? I mean, Aguilar had 6 catches against a really decent defense last week, and he plays the 32nd worst defense in the NFL against the pass this week.
Yep.
I mean,
if
I'm going to think I'll take another 6 catches and a touchdown. He had 112 yards last week.
Yeah, I mean, those are facts. I agree, but I can't play Aguilar. I'm not a fan. So,
well, neither was Josh McDaniels when he was there, and from what I hear, he was the only one that really didn't like him last year. The rest of the coaching staff love Aguilar, so I do like this call this week.
So
he's catching the ball.
Saints and Panthers. Panthers getting 3 points at home. I like Panthers. I thought the Saints looked really bad last week. Winston throwing interceptions again. Baker surely is going to have a better game. I don't
drops.
Know. I think
7 drops.
DJ Moore needs to score a touchdown. So we're all on the Panthers, actually. If anybody's got anything else, Rich has a player prop I saw too.
Yeah, I got a player prop on McCaffrey over 104.5 combined rushing and receiving yards.
Yep,
I like it.
You like the Panthers, Jared?
Yeah, I'm a Baker guy. Had 7 drops last week. Shi Smith had 2 drops inside the 5. Ian Thomas had 2 drops that would have been first downs. It's disgusting. He had a back shoulder to DJ Moore that he dropped, and he threw a back shoulder that he caught. But if he'd have turned the other way, he'd still be running right now. So, I mean, literally, there's nobody on the left side of him. I mean, I don't know what receiver doesn't look to the court, like the sideline to catch a ball, but bro, I get it.
Yeah.
So I'm with you. I think Luvu has a big game. I think Brian Burns has another sack.
Okay. Jaguars going to LA. I know we're all on the Chargers here. I think even if Chase Daniel starts, I still like the Chargers. I think that there's too many weapons. Team's too good. Jaguars are not good. I know they just blew out the Colts, but doesn't matter. Give me the Chargers.
I disagree on the not good part.
I don't think they're good.
Hey, who would have thought
pretty good against the Colts?
It's the Colts.
That defense is stingy, bro. It's stingy.
I give you that. Their defense is decent. It is decent.
The defense wins championships.
I mean, it was awfully difficult to defend Paris Campbell. I mean, I don't think the Colts had many weapons out there when they got down and quit giving Johnny Taylor the ball. I think that was pretty much an easy giveaway at that point. So once I like their defensive front. I do. I think Jacksonville said, "Thank you, God, Frank Reich, for not giving Johnny Taylor the ball anymore and letting us rely on Matt Ryan and Paris Campbell and whoever else their Mo Alley Cox and whoever else their players are." I think that Jacksonville got gifted with that on Sunday.
I do have a player prop on this one. ETN over 24.5 rushing yards.
Let's get him going.
That's what I'm saying.
Let's get him going.
I think
this is the week.
I like it.
All right. Next on the chart here is Packers at Buccaneers. Buccaneers are -1.5 favored. Nate, what you got?
I'm with Packers. I know. Yeah, Homer, whatever. Don't give a shit. They look good last week. Doesn't count because it's the Bears. But Mike Evans is not there. That's huge. Godwin probably not playing. Julio, don't care if he plays. Their offensive line is in shambles. Their offense looked terrible last week too. I'm not even sure how they won the football game, besides right there at the end. So, Packers
defense looks good.
They got what?
Their defense looks good.
Their defense is awesome. It is, but I don't know. I gotta take Packers. I can't take the Bucs. So I'll be by myself. I don't care.
So
I'm actually with you. I mean, I actually think Romeo Doubs actually shows up this week for the first time. He had 4 catches and 4 catches, and you can see the talent. in Romeo Dobbs.
Mm-hmm.
And you really can.
Yeah.
I mean, you don't throw this guy a screen pass and gets 12 yards, sifting through the guys. Let's just see him burn somebody because they're going to look at everybody else. Let's find out. I mean, come on, Aaron. Let's throw a deep ball. Let's find out.
Wolfpack, dude, too sweet.
Abe, go ahead and go because you and me have the same pick on this.
Yeah, so I have Tampa Bay, and the only reason I do is because Rodgers just struggles in this stadium. He struggles. It's just one of those things. I don't know. I mean, obviously I remember this from I played college basketball and stuff. There's certain gyms, certain teams you go play against that you just do really good against, and there's certain gyms and teams you play against that you're just like you struggle with. And Rodgers, for whatever reason, in Tampa Bay struggles. I don't know why, but he does. Obviously, he struggles in the playoffs as well. But I just is one of those things where I don't know. It's hard for me to pick against Brady at home when Rodgers struggles so bad in Tampa. It's one of those things I don't think they do very well. I also have a player prop. I think Brady gets under 248 and a half passing yards. This started today at 255 and a half. It already dropped 7 yards today with the Mike Evans confirmation that he's not playing. So I think Green Bay's pass defense is very stingy. I think it's very good. So I think the way that Tampa Bay wins this game is on the ground and a lot of Lenny Fournette and probably a little bit of Rashad White this week because Fournette's banged up as well. So Brady mentioned the other day he's having some hand issues. So I just don't know. I mean, who's he going to throw the ball to? Is it Cole Beasley? Is he going to be the guy this week?
Scotty Miller.
Scotty Miller just fell down on a play last week. I don't know what his deal was. So, Brady asked to bring in
Rashad Perriman.
Yeah, Perriman. Brady asked to bring in Gage, but Gage is kind of banged up also. So you just don't know. So, typically you want to bet Brady's over in yards all the time, but I think that this week that goes under. I do also. I think that Dobbs or Watson has a big game and scores. I don't know which one it's going to be. I assume it's going to be Dobbs at this point because Watson's a little banged up right now with the hamstring. Like Jared was saying, Dobbs has to get the ball. I mean, we got to see what this kid can do. First play of the season, we went deep and Watson didn't catch it. Try that with Dobbs. I mean, he did it in the preseason with Jordan Love, and made a couple big plays doing it. Try it with him. I mean, you need to stretch the field. Because people are going to start bringing it closer and closer for that running game of the Packers. So, if someone's going to stretch the field, you can't rely on Sammy Watkins to do it all year long. So you need to rely on one of these guys. He played well. He did play well. But you got to rely on one of these guys to start taking the reins. And I think that Dobbs is one guy. And I think that but I hope that starts happening this week.
Yeah, Jared, you said you like Packers -1.5 or +1.5.
Yeah, I do. I think I don't like the over. I like the under 41. So I think it's gonna be a low one. I think it's gonna be like last week.
Yep.
Was that Brady's first win in New Orleans? By the way, I think he was 0-4, right?
Yeah. We talked about this last week. He had 6 touchdowns and 8 interceptions against New Orleans the last 3 years. So. He struggles against them, and he really struggles in that dome.
Yeah, well, as soon as Lattimore went out, he was good. He's like, yeah, let's win this game. I ain't got to worry about it.
Yeah.
So
that helps.
Rams headed down to Arizona to play the Cardinals. The Cardinals are getting 3.5 points at home. Abe, you like the Rams. Let's hear about it.
I do. Cooper Kupp's the reason. I mean, this dude is absolutely – I mean, he's incredible. I don't care what you do. You sit there and watch him and you're like, just double team him. You can't do that. Then you have Matt Stafford who's willing to take chances by throwing him open. It's incredible watching these two play. At some point you're like, there's got to be a regression, and there's not. So I just think, the Cardinals have been torched, in the passing game this year. I'm not a believer in the Cardinals right now. I think that they had a big win last week. I think that was good enough for them. I don't think that they roll with that. They're not an organization that says, hey, we won, let's take advantage of it and let's get a streak going. I think they're one of those teams like, hey, we won last week, that's great. Rams are coming to town, we'll be all right. Rams last week looked really good in the first 3 quarters and struggled late. They need a little bit of a statement game in a division matchup. So I like the Rams minus 3.5.
Yeah, not a believer in the Rams. I know they have pretty much controlled that whole game last week. I get that. I got torched by the Bills, but it's the Bills. Kyler, I think when Kyler wants to do what he can do, he's the best, one of the best there is. I mean, that 2-point conversion was ridiculous. Yeah, I don't know. I can't trust the Rams right now. So yeah, I like the Cardinals getting 3.5 points. I don't know if they win the game, but I feel like it's going to be close. And yeah, but I like them. Rich? Hey, you're on mute.
You're mute.
Or you're... Jared, what do you like, Cardinals or Rams?
Well, it's funny you bring this up because obviously the Rams looked horrible week 1. They looked good against the Falcons. So, and it took an interception in the end zone to beat them. I'm sorry. The Cardinals are much better than the Falcons. So give me Kyler Murray, bro. I mean, I'm sorry. Like until Aaron Donald shows up for once, give me Kyler Murray. And I'm with you. I think they cover. I actually think they win this game.
I hope. Rich, are you back? Can you hear? Can we hear
Yeah,
you
can you guys hear me now?
Yeah.
All right. So what I was saying is I'm picking the Cardinals to cover and win the game too because they basically jump-started their season second half of the game last week. Just like what you said, when Murray's doing what he did, I mean, I don't understand how you in the backfield for 25 seconds running around and nobody could catch him, and then he still runs it in for a damn touchdown, and then he wants a little show it off by just sticking the cute ball out just a little bit extra and stuff.
What's it like 89 yards traveled? Something like that? 84.9, 85 yards.
I guess my question is why doesn't he do it more often? Like, I mean, like when they win, when they're good, he does that stuff, but it's almost like he's trying to prove that he can sit there and throw the ball with the best of everyone. And he can't do that. Like his best thing is playing on the run, and he's got too much pride to do that.
That 2-point conversion in the back of the end zone to Green was a dime. It was a dime.
It was, but he also had 20 some seconds. I mean, which he did with his legs.
No, the second 2-point conversion.
To
tie the ball game. It was an absolute perfect pass. It was crazy.
Right, but because he was in the like. He was playing in the game, like, and he doesn't do that. He doesn't do that unless he's running around. Like I think that when he plays a game and he's running, he's the man. He's a stud. Like
who messed up
really,
there?
Really good.
And I'm sorry, Rich, but why did they take a timeout there? Like he was beat. He was whipped. I mean, he'd been running around for 40 seconds over here, ran 90 yards, and then the Raiders took the timeout. Like. You just let this dude rest. Like I couldn't believe it. I was like, if they're gonna do the 2-point conversion, let his tired ass sit back there. I just couldn't believe as soon as they took the timeout, I'm like, Raiders probably just lost this game. And Carr sat on the sideline for 30 minutes. So there's that.
Everybody said. I'm done talking about the Raiders this week.
Yeah, we'll move on. Falcons. Traveling to Seattle. Seattle favored at home after the big showing against.
I don't have that. I had Atlanta favored by 1.
Oh well, DraftKings had Seahawks -2.
This is DraftKings. I'm looking at DraftKings right now.
It changed that quick.
And they changed that quick.
Atlanta Falcons favored by 1 right now.
Where'd it go?
Over under 42.
Oh yeah. Well, no, I guess I should have bet it earlier when they were getting 2 points. Damn it, that flipped quick. Well, we'll switch it here. That's fine. I still like Falcons. I have, for some reason, I kind of been rooting for them this year. I had picked them week 1. Last week I didn't because that was the Rams, but didn't matter. So, yeah, give me the Falcons -1. And I like Drake London over 54.5 receiving yards. He's been looking real good. I think the Seahawks
are real good.
The Seahawks are freaking trash. They suck. So, they had no chance in that game against 49ers. No chance at all. So,
no, I'm with you. Drake London looks good, like really good.
Yeah.
So
yeah. Rich is changing. Hey, go for it.
I just had the Seahawks. I don't know why. Just because they're playing at home. I think they're awful. I don't know what else to say. I think the Seahawks are atrocious, but they're playing at home, so that's why I picked them.
I can't
Is there
believe
a
you
prop
picked the
bet on
Seahawks.
Ken Walker? That's what I need to know.
Abe, I cannot
I'll
believe
look.
you're picking the Seahawks and everything when we're both going the Falcons. Who would ever pick the damn Seahawks?
The best is I need to clip Abe last week's trash and Geno Smith and then pick him this week. I like that.
I can't stand Geno Smith. I can't stand the Seahawks, but
No, initially I had Seahawks, but once they said that it switched to +1, which it shouldn't make that big of a difference. It was only minus 2.5 a minute, 2.5, maybe not even 30 seconds ago. But I'm gonna switch Falcons. I like what the Falcons they look decent. Their defense is actually playing better than they have in the past and everything. So I do like the way their defense is playing, and I like Mariota.
There's no rushing yard prop on DraftKings for Kenneth Walker yet.
I will not watch this game with these two quarterbacks. I just can't do it. They should not be in the NFL, and if they should not be NFL starters. So
they're giving Desmond Ritter the time he needs, and then he's going to tear it up. Just wait.
I'm okay with that. I want to see him play.
I'm sorry, I don't think Desmond Ritter is better than Marcus Mariota.
Not
can't
yet.
tell me.
Not yet.
I'm better than Marcus Mariota.
Marcus Mariota won a Heisman.
He did.
Yeah.
But so did Johnny Manziel and Tim Tebow.
Yeah, hey, Johnny Manziel was a great college quarterback. He just couldn't read
I love that guy.
playbook.
Yeah. I got the Browns jersey upstairs, Jared. It's my favorite jersey.
Sorry.
I love Johnny Manziel. 49ers at the Broncos. I'm the one that's got the 49ers. I don't know why. I've been telling you guys Jimmy Garoppolo makes that team better. They are like 9-1 favorite to win the NFC.
Can we be honest here? The Broncos are trash.
They suck. They are dog shit. Russ
They're
looks
bad.
like shit. Yeah. They don't give Javonte the ball enough. Yeah, that's why. Anyways, Abe, go ahead.
So obviously, you know my feelings about Russ. I've said that he's been very overrated all season, and it's shown. I was not a Broncos believer this year. The only reason I have this game is kind of same thing I said with Rodgers going against Tampa Bay is that Russ dominates the Niners. Garoppolo is not good against Russell Wilson. Like he's 1-4 against him. I know these are different teams, all that stuff, but it does play a factor. I don't think that the Broncos still are that good. But I think that I think Jimmy G is pretty happy to get his $350K last week. But I don't know. I don't know. The 49ers are definitely the better team. But it's hard for me to say Russ has dominated the 49ers. Jimmy G has struggled against Russ. So that's the reason why I went with the Broncos getting points at home.
And it's not so much that I think the Broncos suck. I think the coaching and the coaching calls is what sucks. Some of these calls that he's been calling has been horrendous. I mean, they got a good as far as offense and defense, they got good players and everything. It's just the way they've been calling these games. Like I said, give Javonte the ball and everything. Now, Russell, I was a little bit higher on, but man, he just looks like not worth the money they paid him. I'll say that.
No.
He looks like he can't cook with an air fryer.
I did pick Broncos at +1.5 because it's at home. So
yeah, the Broncos are not terrible. They're not they're overrated. They're not as good as what I thought. And I
think Denver actually is more talented.
Yeah, I think they're very talented. I don't think Russ is that great anymore. I watched him last year. I said this in quite a few of our shows this year. I'm just not impressed with Russ. He's not Russ anymore.
Still throws a sweet deep ball. I'll give him that. He throws a hell of a deep ball.
He does.
But doesn't matter.
He drops it.
Jared, what do you like, Broncos or Niners?
Like I said, I'm not going to say the Broncos look like crap and pick them. So, I got to take the Niners. So
I feel weird picking the 49ers, but yeah, I'm all about it. Jimmy G's my guy. He got kicked out for no reason.
I'm not a Jimmy G guy. I'm going to tell you that right now. I don't think he's that good.
Well,
but
I don't think he's good either, but he's better than Trey Lance, and that team is better.
Nobody fails in that offense, though. Nobody.
I don't know if you guys saw the comment. AB made that comment about 350 for that game. You know, they made that comment when they were talking at a conference, and he kind of had that like weird smile because he was excited about it, but it was at the cost of the injury and everything. You know.
Yep, that's what made me think of it actually.
Yeah, that's fine. Monday Night Football. Cowboys traveling to New York. The Giants are 1-point favorites at home. I like the Giants. I think look good. Cowboys don't look good. I know they just beat the Bengals. Cooper Rush, I don't know what's going on. Zeke has been struggling. I don't know. I like the Giants for some reason. I think it's fun. It's fun to cheer for them. They're not very good, I don't think. But hey, maybe last 2 weeks, give them a little spark. Making 3-0 for the first time in probably like I don't know how long. Long time.
This is an interesting one. Dallas is number 9 defense versus the fantasy running back. Saquon's top 3 running back. And number 9 is not a good thing, by the way, in this aspect. So you're like 21 if you really want to talk about it. Running backs actually do really well against Dallas, even though the quarterbacks don't. I like Saquon. I think that Saquon is back to normal, to be honest with you. He looks as good as he did as a rookie. I just think that it should have given more touches last week because Carolina's not good against the run. He averaged 6 yards a carry, and they still didn't give him the ball, which was crazy, and they still did well. Dallas has probably the defensive MVP in Micah Parsons, to be honest with you. He's on pace for 34 sacks. CD, if you saw the last pass that Rush was about to throw where CD was coming across, there was nobody going to touch him. Like 3 players were blocked. He was by himself, and the ball got tipped, batted down. He was still running. It was perfectly designed. If they can do that really scheme against other players, use CD like you're supposed to do it, and then have Noah Brown across, bring Gallup in. I think Dallas is good enough with Cooper Rush. I mean, he's done really well. I mean, he beat Minnesota. He beat the Bengals. So he beat Minnesota when they were a top 6 defense. So watch out, man. It kind of says a lot. He's willing to take risks. I mean, what's going to happen? They're going to fire him? No. I mean, he don't care. That's the one thing about being the quarterback right now for him. He doesn't. What's he got to lose? He going to lose his job?
I think when those backups are in there, I feel like the same thing like last year with Magic Mike White Lightning. Like when he comes out, throws a bunch of touchdowns, like how great he looks like. Nobody has any tape on him. And those guys don't give a shit. Like you said, they don't care. Like, let's just go here and sling this damn thing. And if they catch it, touchdown, great. The interception, like I said, I'm not getting fired. But we'll see. Hey, Rich, what you got?
I have the Cowboys. I just think their defense is good. We talked in the preseason how I was excited about the Giants and Jets, how they had good, drafts and that they're, on the up and up from what they've been, which was the bottom seller. But to see the Giants go 2-0 to start the season is pretty surprising. It's fun to watch. I agree with what he said. Saquon has been good. The only reason I have the Cowboys is, and I agree with this also, is Micah Parsons is an absolute beast. I mean, I've said this so many times on the show. He can play anywhere on defense and be super successful. I mean, he is awesome. So I think that's disruptive. And then their secondary takes a lot of chances. Sometimes that's good, sometimes that's not. When the Giants' number 1 wide receiver is, Sterling Shepard, Kadarius Toney's probably not going to catch the ball. He's probably not going to play. I mean, their wide receiving core was exciting to start the season on paper, but they're never healthy enough to play. So I just think the Giants' defense or the Cowboys' defense does too much, and they barely win this game. I mean, it's not going to be a fun game to watch if you like scoring offense. But if you want to watch, Micah Parsons dominate a game, you want to tune in Monday night because he's awesome, and I think he puts on a show.
I'll make this real quick. Yeah, Barkley looks great, and he might succeed, but when your quarterback touches the ball more than your running back, and Parsons is going after your QB, this is just a nightmare waiting to happen for Mr. Daniel Jones. Yeah, I do like.
I'm still betting his over on the rushing.
I was about to. I was leading to that. That's where I was heading into. Danny Dimes over rushing. I don't know what is
it's
it?
Not out yet.
Okay,
not out yet.
Well, that's right. He's gonna be rushing and stuff like that because he's gonna be rushing for his life from Parsons and everything. Yep. So
that's fine. I like it.
and with that being said, I'm gonna go ahead and lead into this question in the chat. Coming from Jeb Armstrong, I'm being offered Michael Thomas for Cortland Sutton. Should I accept? I currently have a stack of Sutton and Williams on my team. Should I worry about that? No,
I don't care about a wide receiver running back stack. But
I'll be honest with you though. Even though Sutton looked good last week, Michael Thomas looked good against one of the best defensive teams in the NFL last week. So
Yeah.
Michael Thomas actually looks like he's Michael Thomas again. So, and I mean, Sutton's one ACL from never playing football again. He's torn it twice. So
But Sutton looks so good right now, man.
I mean, Michael Thomas really
Okay.
hasn't seen the field a
Look who
lot
they
lately
played.
either, though. So, I mean,
Mike
Michael
Thomas
Thomas
looked phenomenal.
Michael Thomas looks really good, but I mean, if we're going to talk about Sutton's injuries, I mean, Michael Thomas has been right there with them. But
but he's had 2 years to get the one leg figured out.
Yeah,
Sutton's
the one
had
thing
torn
the
two
one thing I'm worried
ACL.
about, the one thing I'm worried about Thomas though is if they start out 2-5 or 2-6, he's going to quit. I mean, he's going to find an injury just to not play. That's just that's who he is. I mean, he's just that type of player, and he is dominant. The guy won people a lot of fantasy leagues. He won me a fantasy league 3 years ago. He is awesome when he's on. He is the best. One of the best. So I think that's probably a good trade. Are you taking a little bit of a risk? Yeah, of course, but that's part of it. That's part of fantasy football. So,
Yep.
Oh yeah.
All right, time for long shots.
Hey,
I have.
Go ahead. Yeah, go ahead.
So I have long shots. I have Hawkinson over 60 yards in the score. Those odds weren't available to me, but I just, like I mentioned earlier about TJ Hawkinson, I think that he gets his this week. I have Devontae Adams over 100 yards and a touchdown. That may not be a long shot, but it is right now since his over receiving is only 79.5 right now. Then my really, really, really long shot of the week is Jake Ferguson, the backup tight end for the Cowboys, to score against the Giants. Cooper Rush and him kind of had a thing in the preseason. Dak kind of liked him a little bit in the preseason. He's been really good. And I don't know if Dalton Schultz plays or not. So I think that Jake Ferguson gets on the field if Schultz does not play. So that's a really long shot at saying that Jake Ferguson gets in the box.
Appreciate that, Jeb. Thanks, buddy. Good luck to you.
I love the Ferguson.
Lamar. Hell yeah. There's a prop on DraftKings for the Ravens game, and it's Lamar Jackson throwing for over 300, running for over 100, one rushing touchdown, and it's like plus 800. So, yeah, give me that one. Why not, right? It won't happen because it just won't, but it's a long shot, so it doesn't matter. And then I like Steph Diggs to score 2 touchdowns. 3 last week. You can score 2 this week.
Oh, so I got to do a shot.
I Gabe Davis
about
playing.
This. The most important part.
I got 1 drink left. I'll finish it. I don't know if Gabe Davis plays this week.
Right here, baby, right here. Here's my shot. So I am tired of you guys with your long shots because you guys do long shots at plus 400, plus 300. Well, you got a plus 800 and everything. So I am going plus 1,600. Hill and Waddle plus 300 receiving yards and 3 receiving TDs. Now, that's a long shot. Okay, after what happened last week, hey, it was an easy long shot to pick. I'm going to see if it happens, but that's a long shot right there.
Hey, is there any long shots on New England wide receivers?
Oh, probably.
Because that's something I'm willing to take.
Let me look real quick while you go ahead and fit.
Jacoby Myers has got a knee bang. So,
hey, Rich, I like that.
You always like my long shots, so that means it ain't gonna happen.
He likes it.
I do. I love my shot.
Go put Slater's 2 jersey on.
It's over in the corner from last year, I think. So
yeah, he threw it on the ground by the trash can because there it belongs. Our little confidence pool here. Abe, hey, you're leader in the clubhouse with 3 points after 2 weeks.
Yeah, wow.
Rich and I both got 1 last week. Yeah, that was rough. I don't remember. I think I don't even remember what game I had right because I didn't want to scroll down.
I said 5 I like this right.
Week. Yeah, what it was, but I don't remember which one it was now. Anyways, 5 I like this week. I like the Chiefs minus 5.5, Bills minus 6, Texans plus 3, Raiders minus 2, and the Chargers minus 7. Those are my 5. Abe?
My 5 are Bills minus 6, Bengals minus 5, Ravens minus 2.5, Chargers minus 7, and Bucks minus 1.5. All favorites. That's not good.
Yeah, I got one that's not, so I like that. Rich?
My 5 is Cowboys plus 1, Chiefs minus 5.5, Bills minus 6, Bengals minus 5, and Chargers minus 7.
Jared, you got 5 you like?
Yeah, so I'm going to go the Patriots plus 2. I'm going to go to Minnesota minus 6. I'm going to go Carolina plus 3. I'm going to give you the top one. That's 3, right?
What?
the Eagles minus 6.5, and then I still think the Bills crush the Dolphins. So
Yeah, you
that's
said
my
Bills, Patriots, Panthers. I don't know who else said already.
Eagles and Vikings.
We'll keep track for you.
Yeah, they're really in a long shot for the Patriots receivers.
Jared, you got like 2 or 3 college bets for us? I know we're a long time tonight, but who cares?
Jared, was that you that called the Oklahoma game last week?
Oh yeah,
When
bro.
you came on here?
Yeah,
Man,
And they won by like 40.
Yeah, so I was sitting there. For some reason, I thought they were a 2:30 kickoff in Central Time. So I'm like, oh, when you talked about it last week, I'm like, oh, I really like that. I'm like, I really love this bet. And I went on, and sure enough, it was like, I don't know, 11:50 or something Central Time. They're already up 14-0. I'm like, damn it, why didn't I pay attention to this? Because I really like the bet. That was a snoozer right off the bat. I mean, that was covered and done and in the second quarter. That was a great
Oklahoma has the number 1 defense in football when it comes to tackles for losses and sacks right now, which is all Brent Venables. So, I mean, my boys, but I'll give you one that I'll tell you one, a crazy game, and this is the weirdest thing. Duke and Kansas are playing each other. They're both undefeated for the first time since 2007, I think, where they're 3-0. Yeah, right. It's crazy. Kansas beats Duke. I'm gonna tell you that right now. I didn't even look at the line, but
Danny Manning shuts down Christian Leitner and Kansas wins. That's what's gonna
happen. Duke, Kansas. Kansas is 7.5 point favorite. I do like that bet at home.
Bill Self gonna be on the field?
Huh?
Bill Self be down on the field yelling?
Oh yeah, 100%. Yeah, without a doubt. I mean, Kansas needs that from them. You know what a crazy one is, and this is absolutely bonkers. Did you know North Carolina's favorite over Notre Dame?
Notre Dame stinks. So does North Carolina, I guess, but
yeah, but I mean, we're talking one team was ranked 6th in the country at one time, so. And then it's North Carolina. But I don't love that bet, to be honest with you. I think Notre Dame actually has a decent defense, but they got beat by a crap team last week. I'm trying to look at the Oklahoma game because they play Kansas State. I'll be at the game.
Nice.
I do love A&M. Hey, I'll tell you what. I'll give you one. A&M over Arkansas minus 1.5. I'd smash that bet all day long. That wouldn't be close.
Dude. Where's that at?
At A&M. They won't lose. They probably won't lose another game at home this year. So that one's going to be that's an easy bet for me. Be honest with you. Arkansas almost lost to South Missouri State last week at Arkansas.
Yeah.
So they had to close that out in the fourth quarter.
By the way.
Say what?
This trade that's put up there. Debo for Mixon. He's got Mike Williams, Tyreek, Curtis Samuel, and Bateman at wide receiver. He's got Eckler, Jacobs, and Akers at running back. I'm not trading Joe Mixon for Debo because I don't trust Curtis Samuel going forward. I'd be happy with Tyreek.
I think he said he's going to get Mixon.
Yeah, he's wanting to know trade Debo for Mixon, and that who he has. I'm still not doing this because of the fact that Jimmy Garoppolo's back. Debo excelled last year because of Garoppolo.
He ate last year. Yeah.
Yeah, and you could basically consider him a running back. I mean, so just put him in your flex and count him as a running back. If anything, I would try to trade Mike Williams for somebody else. I know you probably won't get Mixon for him, but
I'd wait for Cam Akers to have a good week this week and trade him.
All right, I'm back on it. Kansas State versus Oklahoma. Oklahoma's a 12.5 point favorite. That is 100% smash that. Like
done.
Does Oklahoma come out and start fast? Do they typically do that? They come out and like rock you right away, or do they kind of lull you to sleep and put you away late?
Well, no. So the this year they haven't really like hit the gas right away. You know, they didn't look great the first drive against Nebraska, and they were like, "Nah, this doesn't happen," and they just absolutely destroyed them. they had one. Nebraska had one good drive. They looked really good the first drive, and then it was over. They had 8 tackles for loss and 4 sacks in the first half. Kansas State last week, I believe, beat Missouri. I could be wrong.
Hey, we're like almost an hour and a half. We gotta get out of here.
So
I need to go to bed.
Sorry, I
Jared,
take that
thanks for
back.
joining us.
Kansas State lost to Tulane last week.
Oh, yikes. Yeah.
Give me that bet.
On my 12 and a half. Hell yeah. Tune in Friday night, Jared and Nino talking college football. Like I said, check us out, patreon.com, 12styles.com. Yeah. Appreciate it. You guys got anything before we get out of here?
Don't trade Debo.
Do not trade Debo.
No.
Don't trade Debo.
Nah. Good
Besides
luck.
that,
Good gambling. Keep staying
y'all have a
positive
great
and testing negative. See y'all.